Now,
to have the inside.
we'll have the inside. Now, this could be close. And down the inside. Yes, he does do it. Runs a bit wide. Cut back. Could be the options. Now, side by side. They come down here. Ho's going to try and give him as much of a squeeze. And does take second position there. Oh, he tries slow. Backs out that time. Hits the rear almost there.
So close. So
behind the slipstream. I don't think Lacer's going to do too much about this as he goes down the inside into turn one. And Lacer's going to try and hold it around the outside. Gets on the grass around the outside. And Lacer tries to hold on. And it's not going to quite do it for Alacio. And Ferrelli makes that move and gets it finished.
Pulling along. He's going to go to the lead. They've got Sig on the outside. It's going to be free into turn one. Is it all going to be clean? The answer to that is a gradual of yes. It seems to be. Running wide. There goes Fundown. He's going to jump up to second. Sig drops down to fourth, and this is going
third
well.
Position in this Grand Prix. Look at Pancho. He might give him a little squeeze towards the wall. Down the inside goes In Forgets for third position. Can he get it done, or will he hold it around the outside? He'll try. He will try to hold it around the outside. He gives him the squeeze. Contact made. Good little battle. In Forgets will move to third position, and can he come back? No, he can't. Good little battle from those two guys there.
Brave if he's going to try. I think he'll back out of it. Surely he has to, unless it's me, because I would have made a move, but he backs out of it. Runs wide. He's going to go for the lead. He is into the lead, and he leads. Skull lead. Battling
that was
Mantle
close.
there. Down the inside. That's a good move. Get it there, over the curb, bagging tyres.
Did he cut him there? Did he cut him? I thought he cut him.
Does it. Podium. He's on the podium. Finally. He's done it. After so long. Forza Gavra, there's everyone celebrating. Solo Solitas just having a donut. Does do it. Same position where another car with a side-by-side. Down to a route. This could end badly. Does it? Brazy bravely backs out of that one. He's not going to try that. He'd be...
On the brakes.
Yes, he tries. Takes a
so
slide.
down
inside he goes. Runs wide. Throws him through as well. And into second place. That's how you do
12
it.
12 cars are within a second of each other. Actually, 13 are within a second of each other. That is actually... madness. That shows how evenly matched it is.
Might take him on the inside again.
He's challenging. Oh, he's going to this. No. Sig battles with a wild Renault. Look at that side by side behind. Around the outside. Sig, and I think around the outside as well. To go GJ Luke, and they're still side by side. Would you look at this? You don't see this very often. Ooh. Well, great stuff between those two.
Side by side again. What's ooh.
Yeah, good move. Should be able.
Championship contender. Oh, he's going to launch down the inside. And there you have it. All said and done.
Metro trying to the inside. Here we are then. For the lead. For the lead. Does he make a move? Tries. No, can't do it. Gets his nose chopped right off. Not close enough to make a move. I would have picked down the inside. What a dive. And does do it. What a dive from such a long way back.
Unbelievable.
That wasn't even an overtaking opportunity, and now he's coming back side by side, down into the right-hander, and they almost touch around the outside, now down the inside. Look at this, side by side. Absolutely bonkers, and this lets Pirelli catch up. And down the inside goes, down the inside. Beautiful move. Does he do it? Pulls it off. Fantastic move there.
It was Gav left.
Oh, Tsuki! Oh my... the most cartoon crash ever. It's no improvement for Hiker. Is there going to be one for It Forgets? Yes, but they... oh my god. Now that is teammates. That is how identical those cars are. Exactly the same time. 120.823.
Down the inside here, he'll try the... oh, he's on the grass! On the grass! And passes! And tries! Now he's going to be diving on the brake! Down the inside goes Sequoia and go, what a move from the Italian!
There's 1 point in it. Van Elk wins by 1 point otherwise. So Razy's got... He's lost it. Oh, Van Elk spun. Van Elk, oh, they both spun. Oh my god. Oh my god. They will both be going mental.
Sweden wins the American Grand Prix. Let's go to third position, Low, as coming through and crossing the line, your new world champion. Hio is the champion of the world. Metro 666 comes the line and wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and with it the title itself, and slows right down.
Is he gonna? Yeah.
And world champion, Vectro 666, finally. Well, 5 lights, and we're underway, and well, there goes the grid, and they're gone. Something has gone horribly wrong.
Up the inside of Hiker, nice move there. Hiker noticed him and gave the space.
And away we go, and it's a very good start from Rip It Up. Look at him, right down the middle. Vectro also getting away very well there. Sig up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he is. No, he's not.
Almost made contact.
Almost made contact there.
Get through. I think they've all got through.
Everyone has got through there. Rip It Up going a bit slowly on the inside there. Solid Salita losing the back end, but keeps it.
See, down the inside, that's going to be a easy move if he does get anywhere, but again, Furia breaks very late. Oh!
Here as these two battle away, Skulls going around the outside later on the brakes. Harry Potter taking the inside line. He's still there. Harry Potter's gone wide. Skull diving all over the place on the track. He's got to be careful of Boston Road. Boston Road's caught right up. Boston Road's going up the inside. Skull's just noticed him. They're side by side, almost.
He's looking around the outside into the last corner, into the Clark curve. That's brave. That's very brave.
Do you think this one's Hector? Oh boy, yeah.
Oh, he tried down the inside! And he got to move this time. He's alongside and trying and hurry. And he's trying to the outside. Is Ethan going to give him that? He's going to brake late. Can Andre try a cutback? No, not yet. He'll be brave to go on the lead. Looking for the lead. Vectro takes the lead here, and now red turning and hits him. Does almost hit him.
I thought he was going to then, but he moved. I think he moved over.
The inside goes DJ. Does he make the move? No, he backs out of it. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he definitely doesn't. Well, down the inside goes Mateo. There we go. Back down the inside. Have that one, Sunshine. Now he's going to go around the inside again, isn't he? If he goes down the inside again, I'll be bonkered. Nah, you can't. That's going to end the contact. There's on side, and then to backs out of it. Oh, he runs wide. Oh, he's going to go down the inside. That's Alonso. There was Alonso got Massa. Oh, that's Ferrari around this corner. Here we are then for the Belgium Grand Prix. 5 lights. Go! And Barry gets a fantastic start. Ethan left trolling behind there. And further back, Ethan already going defensive at turn 1. Down the inside comes one of the BMWs now. And almost taps the side of the Mercedes further back. Carnage going on there. And I believe they all get through cleanly at turn 1 this time. Ferrari though, he's going to have a look down the inside. Down the inside goes Ferrari. Covering off goes the Ferrari. Round the outside goes it forgets. Well, this is bonkers down the back. Well, talk about great racing to end the year.
Again, not good enough there. It's this track.
So
he's going to try on the outside. Runs wide. And he's going to be side by side. Is Salita going to try down the inside? They're going to make contact. They're not.
Vector's ran off the track. Yes. Vector did run off the track there, but I don't think...
Get away with it.
He might just get away with it.
Going to make the move. Yes. Into the lead. Pulls alongside. Pulls ahead the Audi. First of the Ferrari. Now Ronnie is going to be going shallow. Can he go on the outside again? Yes. Yes. Fight. And takes the lead again. And watch out for that McLaren following behind. This is fantastic stuff. Your top 3 separated by under 1 second. And coming along is Solo Salita. He's going to try turn 1. Does he get through? They all finally, I think they've all got through at turn 1 correctly. I think it's finally happened. They've all got through turn 1. Will they get through turn 2? They almost make contact at the back. They're all squirming together.
Let's see, and Alessia's lost it again, and a Ferrari at the same time. Synchronised spinning right there.
I don't think anything can Red do. Gav into the lead. Gav leads the Belgian Grand Prix. And boy, oh boy, has this turned into a shocker. Red in the pit lane. For the lead. He's got a beautiful run. Slingshots past and takes the lead. Now, we'll have the inside. Now, this could be close. And down the inside. Yes, he does do it. One's a bit wide. Cut back. Could be on the options. Now, side by side, as they come down here, Hoy's going to try and give him as much of a squeeze. And does take second position there. Oh, he tries slow. Backs out that time. Hits the rear almost there.
So close. So
behind the slipstream. I don't think Alessia's going to do too much about this as he goes down the inside into turn 1. Alessia's going to try and hold it around the outside. Gets on the grass around the outside. Alessia tries to hold on, and it's not going to quite do it for Alessia. And Ferrari makes that move and gets it finished.
Pulling along. He's going to go to the lead. They've got Sig on the outside. It's going to be free into turn one. Is it all going to be clean? The answer to that is a grand total of yes. It seems to be. Running wide. There goes Fun Dad. He's going to jump up to second. Sig drops down to fourth, and this is going
third
well.
position in this Grand Prix. Look at Poncho. He might give him a little squeeze towards the wall. Down the inside goes in for yes for third position. Can he get it done, or will he hold it around the outside? He'll try. He will try to hold it around the outside. He gives him the squeeze. Contact made. Good little battle. In forgets will move to third position, and can he come back? No, he can't. Good little battle from those two guys there.
Brave if he's going to try. I think he'll back out of it. Surely he has to, unless it's me, because I would have made a move, but he backs out of it. One's wide. He's going to go for the lead. He is into the lead, and he leads. Skull leads. Battling
that was
Handsable
close.
there. Down the inside. That's a good move. Get it there, over the curve, bagging tyres.
Did he cut him there? Did he cut him? I thought he cut him.
Does it. Podium. He's on the podium. Finally, he's done it. After so long. Forza GAVRA, there's everyone celebrating. Solo Solita's just having a donut. Does do it. Same position where another car with a side-by-side. Down to our route. This could end badly. Does it? Bravely backs out of that one. He's not going to try that. He'd be mad to try side-by-side.
Ruapuna Park, the lights go red for Ruapuna Park, round 6. And it's go! And Cash gets an amazing start for Raleigh. Gets away well. Alessio gets a storming start, goes into second. He's going to
try it.
On the brakes.
Yes, he tries, takes a
so
slide.
down
Inside he goes. One's wide. Throws him through as well. And into second place. That's how you do
12
it.
12 cars are within a second of each other. Actually, 13 are within a second of each other. That is actually madness. That shows how evenly matched.
Might take him on the inside again.
He's challenging. Oh, he's
going to be tight. Oh, no.
Does Sig battles with a wild Renault. Look at that side by side behind. Around the outside. Sig, and I think around the outside as well. To go GJ Luke, and they're still side by side. Would you look at this? You don't see this very often. Ooh. Wow, great stuff between those two.
Side by side again.
Yeah, good move. Should be able.
Championship contender. Oh, he's going to launch down the inside. And there you have it. All said and done.
Metro trying to the inside. Here we are then. For the lead. For the lead. Does he make a move? Tries. No, can't do it. Gets his nose chopped right up. Not close enough to make a move. I would have think down the inside. What a dive. And does do it. What a dive from such a long way back. That wasn't even an overtaking opportunity, and now he's coming back side by side, down into the right-hander, and they almost touch around the outside, now down the inside. Look at this, side by side. Absolutely bonkers, and this lets Pirelli catch up. Down the inside goes, down the inside. Beautiful move. Does he do it? Pulls it off. Fantastic move there.
This was Gav left.
Oh, Tsuki. Oh my. The most cartoon crash ever. It's no improvement for Hiker. Is it going to be one for It Forgets? Yes, but they... Oh my god. Now that is teammates. That is how identical those cars are. Exactly the same time. 120.823.
Down the inside here, he'll try the... Oh, he's on the grass! On the grass! And passes! And tries! Now he's going to be diving on the brake! Down the inside goes Sigurdsson and go, what a move from the Italian!
There's 1 point in it. Van Elk wins by 1 point otherwise. So Razy's got... He's he's lost it. Oh, Van Elk spun! Van Elk, they both spun! Oh my god! Oh my god! They will both be going mental.
Sweden wins the American Grand Prix. Let's go to third position, Low, as coming through and crossing the line, your new world champion. Hayo is the champion of the world. Metro 666 comes the line and wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and with it the title itself, and slows right down.
Is he got it? Yeah.
And world champion, Vectro 666, finally. Well, 5 lights, and we're underway, and well, there goes the grid, and they're gone. Something has gone horribly
Was up
wrong.
the inside of Hiker. Nice move there. Hiker noticed him and gave the space.
And away we go, and it's a very good start from Rip It Up. Look at him, right down the middle. Vectro also getting away very well there. Sig up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he is. No, he's not.
Almost made contact.
Almost made
Everyone's
contact there.
behind get through. I think they've all got through.
Good evening, good day, good afternoon. Welcome back to another video here from GAVRA Racing on the GAVRA Racing YouTube channel. Today we will be having a reasonably long conversation and be taking most of your questions from the YouTube chat about the Le Mans 24-hour coming up in around 2 to 3 days here for most of the drivers racing here in GAVRA Racing on the PS4 platform. So, welcome. I also welcome my good friend here, Heo. How are we today?
Yeah, very nice. Looking forward to this, and hopefully it will solve a lot of questions.
Yes, that is, I presume, the main purpose of this video here, or should I say, live stream here today. I'm not used to this live stream thing just yet. But yeah, we've got a bunch of questions in chat. Starting off first here, what is the right way to go when the driver swap is happening? So what's the right of way between the two teammates or another driver coming out of the pit lane?
So yeah, about the driver swaps, it will happen during the game. You have your reserved slot, and therefore the swapping driver or the driver taking over will go or come into the session. And as a driver, you see that your teammate joined the session, or you should see that in the standings. And then you go to pits, and your teammate is waiting in pits in his garage still. You do the pit stop, and by doing this pit stop, you repair everything. You change the tires and put all fuel in. So just make the tank full. Then after the pit stop, you go to the end of the pit entrance. Actually, I can just showcase maybe a video from the practice race or the 4-hour race. On Saturday. This is a driver swap between, let's just do this video, a driver swap between Bowie and Pirelli. So yeah, I just do it in full length. So Bowie is going to the pits, taking here this pit entrance, also nicely not cutting, and then into the pits. You should also be aware of the pit limiter here. We have this penalties, and then he goes into the pits, flashing his lights for Pirelli to see him. Maybe, I don't know, but it's not necessary actually, because Pirelli in pits should observe, or the driver taking over should observe the driver coming in, and then he sees that, and yeah, then he just stays in pits. During that time, it's probably not possible to go out even of pits, because yeah, someone is blocking the pit lane. That happens. So Pirelli here is in the grass still. Then Bowie goes on, and Bowie should just go to the end of the pit lane, so completely to the end, because that is freeing the pit lane for Pirelli to go out. And once Bowie is at the end of the pit lane, Pirelli can go out, or out of his way actually. So there might be some different between different pit boxes. But the difference is just random, and it's not that large. And over 24 hours, it doesn't make any big difference. So then Pirelli takes over, and that's basically it. Yeah. Just back to the stream then.
Yes, so very, very interesting there. I know I'm going to be definitely practicing to maybe grab some extra tenths of a second or halves of a second to jump maybe another driver in the pits, or maybe get a little bit of head. Anyway, next question, a pretty big one as well from Crash D, and I've also been having a bit of a query about is what's going to happen if your lap's invalidated through a lap or even multiple laps over a 25% stint.
So yeah, about the invalid laps, yeah, we can keep record of that. That means, yeah, just like drivers accidentally going over the track limits, invalidating their lap. So no driver should slow down because just a warning pops up, but no driver should cut the track or expand track limits on purpose. So I just saw that there's another question later by Cash regarding that. So any cuts of, for example, the chicanes or stuff like that will be regarded differently, and there will be some time penalty which is not fixed. So the stewards will take over for that. Stewarding is done partly by me if I'm not involved, for example, but usually it's Gavra and Aaron who are stewards during the race, and we will take care of that. But regarding the invalidated laps, it's like that. You have like, it's 25%. We are still not sure if it's like 80 laps or 100 laps we giving the drivers. So yeah, just calculate with 80 laps for now. That can be invalidated without happening anything. So that is just like if accidentally you expand track limits, and this happens from time to time, and it even happens that 2 laps are invalidated yeah, at the same time if you do a mistake in the last sector. But for the invalidated lap, the penalty is 5 seconds per lap. So if you do, instead of like 79 laps invalidated, 80 laps, that means like 80 times 5 seconds penalty instantly, and 5 seconds penalty for each additional invalidated lap. So 400 seconds of penalty instantly if you go above this 80 lap count. That's just, so we don't think that anybody should go over this 80 lap count, and everybody should be low. We have a bit of like, yeah, you can expand track limits by accident, doesn't matter that much, and that's like it should be, because yeah, during 24 hours everything can happen. You get a bit more tired and stuff like that, maybe forget to brake in the right moment, and laps get invalidated. That's not a point. It happens, but it should not happen constantly. And so that's the system. You have a bit of a like, yeah, you can expand track limits for a limited amount of laps, and if you do it constantly you get massive penalty because of that. So 5 seconds per invalidated lap. Cutting on purpose is another topic, and that will get additional penalties if we see you do it. For example, in the stream, also like the guy who is doing the live timing, which will be Gavra in the first few hours, during the time I also make my stints in the race, and then I will take over the live timing. We can see and observe the race all the time during being in pits. We will also have some sleep maybe, but yeah. But you never know if you're observed or not, so don't cut any track limits on purpose. We will eventually, or maybe see it and then penalize that differently. But that's on the topic of invalidated laps. So 80 laps, maybe we expanded to 100, but I don't think so. So 80 laps you have free, and after that is massive penalty.
Yeah, so just all the drivers know, he who is watching you is same as Gavra, so you know, be warned. But yeah, the next question in the chat is by James. Oh, I'm gonna absolutely destroy this last name. I believe it's Boniface. And he asks, can we alter the driver swaps during the race? So the driver swap times, actually, sorry. So I believe that's in regards to the spreadsheets, I believe. I'm not sure though. But yeah, that's your question now here.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, regarding the spreadsheet. So you can change the times during the race. It's not a huge problem. Actually, we are not full teams, so GTE will be less teams than LMP1. And therefore we have some free slots. We have also some one a team that is on a single PS4 in the LMP class, and they don't need any driver swaps. So I can just show you the spreadsheet for an instance. There you go. So this is the spreadsheet. There are not all the teams included yet. So Ferrari B, GSA, and Beauty and the Beasts are included. The other teams still have to put their names in this sheet. So I just explain what's about. So you have the in-game countdown, obviously starting at 24 hours, but yeah, Google doesn't regard that. At 3 p.m. in Central European summertime, and then each slot here, for example this first one by Ferrari B, is starting at 3:45 and then going 15 minutes till 4 p.m. So they have 15 minutes time to do their driver swap. Driver swap means that two drivers of the same team are in the lobby together. So it's from coming into the lobby and going out to. What I actually forgot to tell about the driver swaps, you have to do until so if you are going out of the lobby, you have to prove that you have done the pit stop by just submitting a screenshot into the chat group. Sorry. So that it's just shown that you changed your tires, filled up the tank, repaired everything and stuff like that. So that you also have to do. Sorry about that. And in the spreadsheet there are these team names, and everybody has access actually to change it. So if we, for example, in the team like B&B here, we see, yeah, we should change a bit later, then you delete this and you copy it maybe and put it here and delete the other one. I will just change it back again. I don't want to change any teams stints, but yeah, that's the way to do it. Everybody can change this file, so do it. It will be filled up a bit more, but I think there should be everywhere some slots, but we don't want to have more than 5 teams at the same time doing the driver swaps. And that should not happen actually in a race, I guess, maybe at some point, but you should then shift a bit around in order to do that, because we don't have unlimited slots in the lobby. Yeah, that's basically it. So you can change it if you want to. If you see you're faster or slower or had some accidents in between, you can even change the whole thing. So just make sure that you only go into a slot which is not already occupied. So if there are already 5 teams blocking, you cannot do your driver swap there. Then maybe the driver driving either has to come in earlier or expand their stint a bit more by a pit stop and then doing a driver swap a few laps later. It's unfortunate, but should not happen. So this reserving is just to make sure you have the spot fixed. It's yours, you can swap drivers there, but if something happens and you have to change it, but only into 3 slots basically. Yeah, that's also why you should fill in these things and not just tell me when you want to fill it, because it can change during a race. 24 hours, a lot of stuff can happen, and I don't think any team, or maybe a few teams but not every team, will go through this 24 hours without an accident. So that happens, and then you have to pit early, and that screws up things a lot, or your plans at least. So change it if you want to. There's no problem in that.
Yeah, so a little bit of an insight there on the backstage stuff of a live 24-hour race. So yeah, very, very intriguing stuff. And I believe the next question is, the chat's gone by very quickly. Yeah, that's already been answered. Yeah, here we go. So, oh god, These European names, I tell you, are very difficult to understand. So Gorhis van Hunter, I've got, but Van I might have. Another question for the driver swaps: what happens when the pit repairs everything, but it doesn't get released and it isn't able to drive to the end of the pits? So, ooh, I don't know how to rephrase that question. I don't know. Did you understand that here?
Yeah, that's a common problem in project cars. Yeah, that's a problem by the game, that it doesn't release any drivers if there is someone in pits. Yeah, that happens, but actually it happens only if if there are only two drivers swapping at this point. It only happens for if your swapping driver or the driver going out of the lobby doesn't go to the end of the pit lane. So that is blocking basically the spot. So that happened during the race because we were not aware to, or we didn't warn you about that. But if you are pitting, you are blocking the pit lane for drivers around this spot. So drivers having a garage around the spot. And that happens and you cannot go out. But if you just go to the end of the pit lane, the swapping driver should go out of the race, out of the garage into the race. If that doesn't work, so just go back to the garage then, and or try to spot who is blocking the pit lane then. That you should never block the pit lane actually. So don't be in the pits and click this ready button until you really want to go into the race. There's no like yeah, just trying and driving around and waiting or whatever. Stay in your garage until you see your driver pitting and then going on after the pit stop. Then you can go out, not any earlier if there are more than one team driver swapping at the same time. And also if there is a team or driver doing their pit stop at this very moment, you want to swap the drivers. That's unfortunate. It can happen that it delays you for a few seconds, but it should not happen like a whole. We will take care of that. Just if there's a massive problem, we have to deal with it individually. But otherwise, yeah, just be aware of this fact that might be a problem, and don't cause this problem. And if it's caused on you, just try to solve it as soon as possible, or we will help you with that. And if it's just blocking for a few seconds, yeah, it's a 24-hour race. It happens to everybody. That happens sometimes. It's like a safe release. Sometimes you have to wait for other drivers to make clear of the pit stops. It happens in a real 24-hour race, even yeah, blocking the pits for massive times. If there are more than yeah, if it's, for example, starting to rain, everybody goes in. It happens during this races also in real life, and in the sim it should not happen, but it happens. And yeah, just try to yeah, take care of the situation, and we will take care of massive problems individually.
I've also got just a question personally on things that you just mentioned regarding weather. Will it be dry all throughout, or will we see changeable conditions per se, rain, things like that?
So the weather conditions were released with the 4-hour race. It will be the same conditions, just now spread to 24 hours. So it will be 4 weather slots. The first slot will be heavy cloud, the second slot will be clear, the third slot will be hazy, and the fourth slot will be light clouds. So it's changing slightly, the conditions, but not that much. So we won't see any rain, but the temperatures, you should maybe account for that they are different depending on the weather and of course on the time.
Righty-o. So I believe the next question after that, hang on. Okay, this is a pretty big one. What happens if we have disconnections, like a driver's, 35 minutes into his stint and he disconnects from the lobby, or everyone from the lobby disconnects? So mass disconnection, I guess you could also word that as.
Yeah, that's also explained in the description of the whole race on the GAVRA web page. So there are disconnects, and we don't care actually about them because a disconnect. So every driver should take care of their internet connection, and it might happen that there is a disconnect, but it's a qualifying lobby, so you can reconnect at any time, or a teammate of your can just go into the lobby and take over. We have this live timing system, so nothing will get screwed by that. Just the first part of any unfinished lap will not be counted, of course, and then it will start again, counting your laps just as before. So you only lose the part of the lap that you have done before the disconnect. Yeah, but you can always just continue racing. There's no problem. There's one problem, and this is if GAVRA for the first few hours until about 9 p.m. Disconnects, or I disconnect after that. So we are doing the live timing, and if we disconnect from the lobby, that means the live timing will not record any laps anymore. And this is a problem to the race, and therefore if that happens, we should restart the lobby of the race with the live timings, and it will just start in the order it was last recorded by the live timings then. So, but yeah, that's the only like red flag we have, and then we will restart the lobby. But for individual disconnects by any drivers, we will not restart the lobby, just go into the lobby again.
So very, very interesting stuff. So theoretically, a red flag scenario if in doubt that Hero and/or GAVRA disconnects. So let's have a community prayer for that. Yeah, the next question after that, how many time slots can we reserve by Mr. James Boniface? I believe that's once again in regards to the stint timings as well.
Yeah, so you can reserve, like told in the chat, 24 slots for driver swaps. So actually you can change more than every hour, because every hour would take like 23 slots. But yeah, you can basically change every hour if you want to, but I don't think that's a very good idea to do. You can reserve a few slots just for in case something happens. Just reserve 24 slots, and then yeah, wiggle around with them a bit. If something happens during the race, you can change them, as earlier said. So yeah, just reserve 24 maximum slots. You can reserve less than that. That's not a problem, of course.
So once again, a very good question asked. So next one is by Cash, and he asks, how would the stewards be able to catch all invalidate or like major invalidation laps? So like for example, cutting the chicane along I think it's the Mulsanne Straight. I'd class that as a major cut. So I'd presume that would be done in the live streaming, but I don't know. Here, you're more than welcome to correct me.
Yeah, so there are several ways to get any incidents in the race. It doesn't matter if it's an invalidated lap or major invalidated lap, or yeah, any other incident like a race incident. On purpose hitting another car, for example. If you have any video evidence of that, you can just send this evidence to a steward, meaning to either me, and I am in this regard, I am not part of any team, or at least I hope to do or serve as that. But also, of course, to Gavra or to Aaron, for example. We will also look at our stream and we will record this evidence if needed and just share it in order to do that. But we will treat any major and on purpose or obviously on purpose cheating seriously and as cheating, and we'll punish that hard. So I don't know what you're planning to do, Cashnet, but don't do it. So we will just have a look, and of course we won't see if you do that, maybe, but maybe we will, and you can maybe gain like 5 seconds, but you can lose a few minutes if we catch you doing that. It doesn't make sense to do it, basically. And I don't think anyone will pull this. If you do something stupid, just claim it yourself, then we can take it like as 5 seconds or something, what you gained. But otherwise we will just see it as cheating, and that we will punish hard, of course.
So clearly Cashnet, or also known as Cash, trying to do maybe a Ferrari technique. Fernando was faster than you, maybe or maybe not. Anyway, the next question after that is from Evil Dragon, asking, will the in-game time start at 4 PM like the real life time? I think it starts at 3 PM. I'm not sure though.
It starts at 3 PM, yeah. I also think isn't the real race also starting at 3 PM? I think maybe it's a bit different with the summer or autumn time or winter time, but yeah, I think it's at 3 PM, and that's what race will start. Our race, at least.
Yes. So yes, early. What am I trying to say? Anyway, the next question after that, once again from James Bonfaz, bringing in the max questions here. Consequently, also max reserve time slots allowed. So the maximum time you can reserve a slot. So I guess Heo is in charge of that question once again.
Like already said, it's 24 slots you can reserve in the spreadsheet, and that's it. So if you want to reserve another one, you have to basically unreserve, I don't know the English term for that, another slot. So and just exchange the slots. That's it.
Here, as a strong English boy in year 11 here in Australia, I believe unreserved is the correct terminology there. Anyway, the next question after that comes from Tobias Schmid. I think I said that right. Feel free to correct me. How it works, because when someone pits, he starts a new lap. So once again, I'm not sure on how to answer that. So I'm presuming that's referring to when you're coming into the pits and maybe doing another driver swap. So I'll leave that once again in the hands of Heo.
Yeah, the name is Tobias Schmidt. But I don't know what it's really about. If it's about the live timing, it just gets all the time. You basically, the live timing is a bit tricky to do it. Just recognizes a lap, and it counts a lap from Mulsanne Straight to the start finish line, or entrance of the pit stop. That's a lap, and that's counted. So if you do a driver swap or something, you just start your lap at Mulsanne Straight, basically for the live timing, and end it at start finish straight. That's how it counts it. But otherwise, I don't know exactly what it regarding to, because I'm not using the in-game system at all, because I know the in-game system sometimes starts a new lap when you are coming into the session again, sometimes not. I won't use that because that was also some glitch. A team from Spain that also did a 24-hour race in Project Cars had, but we won't experience that because I will just take the position of the cars, and regarding this position, I just checked that this position, and I have some clauses when the lap is started and when the lap is ended, and that's it. So you cannot start a lap from pits, and so it just takes account of that.
So then the next question in the chat is, will there be a safety car or slow zones? I'm not sure actually. That's a question I wanted to ask as well. Is there here?
No. So yeah, for sure, in a real life race, you have like car wrecks on track. If a car has an accident, there's like the car may be standing on the side, and the driver wants to get out of this car, and some stewards have to go on the track, for example, to remove any parts there. But we won't have that. We are in a sim, so that's not going to happen. And nobody is in danger, so no safety cars, no slow zones. That's basically also impossible to organize something like that, and it's not really necessary at all.
So once again, very, very interesting. And the next question, hang on, I've lost where I am. What happens when you invalidate your lap in a one-shot quali? So I believe, have we already done the qualifying? I'm not sure just yet. But once again, here I can answer that question for you.
Yeah. So the qualifying is happening next. So after this Q&A, I thought a bit about it, and it should be like if more than one driver invalidates the lap, that should still count a bit, but actually you should not invalidate this lap at all. That means if there is a slowdown, you should slow down, and yeah, it's just the last corner basically where you can maybe go wide and by accident then invalidate the lap. That should not happen, but if it happens, we will just put like a penalty time, and this penalty time will be massive, so that no valid lap will ever be slower than that, so it will be 1 minute added to your lap time then.
So that practically answers that. So the next question, once again from Evil Dragon, will we have the iconic Le Mans stance when they all start from the pit wall? That's a pretty good question.
Yeah. We are replicating the 2016 race, also with the date. And 2016 it was a very boring start behind the safety car. So our start will be better than that. It's just a rolling start. So one formation lap. It's not entirely sure if we will have a safety or pace car yet. So it will be either the leading car. At the moment, Ferrari B is the team that is leading in the qualifying, or leading in the LMP1 class. LMP1 will of course start in front of the GTEs. So it will be just a formation lap, and then the race will be started after the last chicane. You should just accelerate, or the first driver should accelerate into the chicane and out of it, and not go off the gas again. That's the race start, and yeah, so no pit walls or anything. Don't park your car there. Yeah, it's a sim, but it's not simulating everything, so we have to deal with that.
Yeah, I believe I do know, because I think this 24-hour race is going in a practice session just so we can do driver swaps smoothly. But I do know that we are doing a one-lap race parade for the winner.
So it is a qualifying session actually. We will do it in a qualifying session.
A qualifying session.
The main reason for that is actually the pit lane speeding. Because in a practice race we cannot take care of pit lane speeding, so everybody can go as fast as they want, and we don't want them to race through the pit lane, and therefore yeah, we do it in a qualifying session. Everybody has to be aware of yeah, the pit speed, as in the stream just the LMP1 goes into the pits fittingly. So yeah, it's a qualifying session.
Yeah, definitely. So that I guess answers all your questions. For now, I don't know if we have any more. Evil Dragon putting the sad face emoji in the chat. That's a smidge depressing. But yeah. Anyway, getting back to any other questions. I'm not sure if there's any more. I know I've got a question myself to ask in regards to, I cannot remember. That's right. We have, I believe we are using 24-hour time, so I don't believe, it's not like iRacing, is it, where it just sticks to one time, because we'll go through a night phase, won't we?
Yeah, so yeah, if you quote here iRacing, yeah, iRacing is always at the same time, but we will have, of course, a 24-hour day and night cycle here, because Project Cars offers that. So we will start at 3 p.m., go into the night, through the night in the morning, and then finish the race again at 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
So, very, very interesting. I don't believe we have any more. Alright, yeah, I can guess we can go into that. So Evil Dragons just mentioned on the streaming. So, as usually, everyone knows me from the GAVRA community when I joined about, how long ago? 3 months ago or so. Maybe even 4 months. Coming up to the nearly 6 months anniversary. Yeah. But yeah, streaming on how it works, I believe it's being live commentated on as well. So yeah, most of the people from the GAVRA area know me as a commentator, but unfortunately I will be driving, so everyone's got to watch out for my terrible driving. But yeah, so I won't be commentating, unfortunately. I'll be in the car doing some laps. I am racing for GSA, German Sweden Australia racing team, in the LMP1 class, and I believe he is joining me. I don't know if he is. I believe he is. So I don't know why I said I don't know. So it's, you know, half of your stints will just, you know, we'll just have the car just sitting in the pits actually. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But in regards to streaming, I think Pio, would you like to answer that? I'm not entirely sure on who'll be doing most of the commentary.
Yeah, so I'm also not that sure who's doing most of the commentary. Soup Cooler is taking yeah, this over. So he takes care of that, of the streaming, and it will be just that we have some yeah, swaps of broadcaster, but yeah, so I don't know who is going to stream when in the race. During my live timing, basically I can also stream from time to time, so if there's a lag in the schedule and I'm awake, so after my stints I will be sleeping for some time, but if I'm awake I can also stream the race during that times. What we don't want is any drivers streaming the race. We discussed that with the admins, and there were some major problems with the stability of a session if a driver streams their race, or multiple drivers streaming the race. And because of that we won't allow the drivers to stream their race, but we will have mostly hopefully covered racing via the stream. And yeah, so that's it.
So yeah, and I believe here, did you mention the one team? I think there's one LMP1 team using the using just one singular PS4. I believe that's right. So yeah, in regards to that, I know that there is there is just one team using a PS4, so they'll do theoretically manual driver changes where one of them gets out of the racing seat and another gets in the other racing seat, and Bob's your uncle and away you go. So unfortunately, I can't do that because I live in Australia, and here obviously living in Europe. Unless I wanted to catch a plane over to here, I don't believe I'll be doing that. So yeah, I believe yeah, a little bit of a change up, a little bit of a change up in in difference in how driver swaps will be conducted and done. But yeah, going back to another question in the stream, the quali will be done by one another, or will everyone be in the lobby? So I believe that's referring, will the qualifying be done by one driver, or theoretically the fastest driver in your team, and the most consistent, or will everyone in a team be in a lobby doing their times over and over again?
No, so it's a single shot qualifying, so every team will have one driver driving for them in the qualifying, and this one driver gets one out lap and one hot lap, and then he should return to the pits. Yeah, that's how it's done, and it's one by one, so one after the other. We will stream every lap of every driver here, so I will just post a short list of the drivers or the teams, basically, because I don't know which driver will drive for which team today or yet. So this driver driving for their team should join a lobby, and then I will have a list. First of all, it's the GTE class, and they will go like from the at the moment last qualified team to the top qualified team. So the top qualified team sees the other laps and can maybe adjust their driving a bit, but that doesn't really matter. It's just for like that's usually done like that in sporting events, and yeah, so it's one by one. You can go out of pits for your warm-up lap once the driver before you starts their hot lap. So that's the easiest solution for that. So during the hot lap of the driver before you, you just do the warm-up lap, and then you start your hot lap. Then the driver after you will, yeah, come out of pits after you. So like this, there won't be any drivers in the way of other drivers during the hot lap, and that's the fairest solution. We will have a small gap between the LMP, so between the GTE and the LMP cars, just because the LMP cars are usually faster, and maybe even in a warm-up lap they are faster than the GTE car, so we will have some slight break there, but other than that, yeah, that's how the qualifying will work.
Now, I think the best question I've seen asking from AOR David Ben, is there a huge shiny trophy? Now, that's also intriguing me as well.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Maybe I can post you some virtual trophy for this virtual race.
Kind of image.
Like an image. No, there's no shiny trophy, but of course it will be on the GAVRA page, because we have quite some history actually on there for every league. Even like leagues like a few years ago are still on there, and all the winners and stuff like that. And 24-hour will be an event which will also remain there, so the winning team will be being in this Hall of Fame there for the first team to ever win this 24 GAVRA race. If you win it, of course, in your class, but that's another point, and that's not up to us, that's up to you.
I tell you what, that's just gonna make me want to go buy one of those like $1 little like gold trophies you can buy from the like dollar store or wherever, just out of spite, and I'll send it to whoever wins the 24-hour, which will obviously be me. But yeah, I've got to do something for the Gavra boys and maybe buy a small little trophy for whoever wins. Anyway, getting back to the questions. Where was I up to? That's right. Toby as Schmid. How how God, I've lost it. How the quali times fit together. So I think that's once again rephrasing it to how does the quali times, work in conjunction with one another. So how does each one fit into its slot within, I presume, within the class?
I don't get your explanation about that. What did it mean?
I actually don't know either. I'm trying to rephrase it into a simple way. So I guess I'm just gonna say it how the question is, how the quali times fit together. So I actually have no idea how necessary to answer that.
Okay, so either it's like yeah, what I just explained, or it's the spreadsheet again, or basically how to add the qualifying laps of the 5-lap average and the hot lap and the single shot hot lap. Yeah, I will just show again this here. So that's the spreadsheet again. There you can see there are 3 times. First one is the 5-lap average you all did, or just Team Mel didn't do that, which is unfortunate. Then there's the fastest lap in a session, and what is going to come next is the single shot lap, and then the average. It's at the moment it's average so far called. If you open the spreadsheet, I just cut this out, but yeah. So there are different laps here, lap times here, and we will just add another one, which is the single shot lap here, and then take the average of all these 3 laps and have a final qualifying lap, which will determine yeah, the starting grid for the race. But I think in a 24-hour race, it's not really going to matter if you start in first or even last.
At the end, it's I guess at the end of the 24 hours, it's the result that you're able to come out with, and that's arguably the most important bit. So yeah, another question coming up. What about people leaving the session during a hot lap? So that's, I believe, into regards to disconnection again.
So now in this qualifying session, I don't think that anyone will yeah, disconnect during the hot lap. If that happens, I don't know what to do at the moment. I think we will just yeah, redo this hot lap. So if you disconnect not after some accident, but really just disconnect, you can do your lap afterwards and just joining the session again. If it's about like guys leaving the session during the hot lap and causing lag by doing that, please stay in the lobby. So join the lobby at the beginning of the qualifying, wait there till your time has come for doing the hot lap, and then leave the session if it's over for everybody. So don't screw up any laps by other drivers, just stay in the lobby. I don't think it's that hard to do. Yeah, that's about that.
The next question after that is from Held Your Horses. James Bombface. Once again, I'd suggest reading his little chat message there. So just leaving practically just what he said, but in words. So I think AOR David has a questions. No, that's just once again regarding into what we were just talking about. So I don't know if that's it for the questions. Feel free to pop some more in. But yeah, Heo, do you have any queries
I didn't get your voice. I don't know if your mic just popped out.
Do you have like any other questions you want to, not necessarily questions, statements you want to talk about? You know, anything you want to reference to here today while we've got everyone here?
Yeah, basically, so I'm racing this race tomorrow, the first stint. So I probably won't answer any questions like 1 hour before the race and then the starting of the race. So be aware of that. If you have any questions, post them into the chat group because everybody is usually interested in the questions you have also. But you can also direct them to me if it's some really like a special problem. But please do that as soon as possible and not wait for any unclear stuff for the beginning of the race, because I will just prepare myself for my stint because I have to take over the live timing. I have only time till 9 to do my share for my team, and therefore I will race quite a lot in the beginning. Yeah, I have to prepare for that also, so please don't wait for your questions till the last time before the race, because I will maybe just ignore them.
Yeah, and fair enough. In going into a 24-hour race, this is the third 24-hour race I've done. Yeah, you really just need to mentally, and not only mentally but also physically. It's a lot of racing. I mean, each one of our stints is, I won't say the exact time, but around about, I don't know, 50 minutes long or something like that. I don't know what our longest one is, but on average
yeah, it's
50
a
minutes.
bit, for me it's a bit more than 2 hours each stint, so yeah.
Yeah, so a lot longer for him, a lot shorter for me, probably because I'm a worse driver, but I hate to admit that. Yeah, so you know, physically preparing, and I've seen some of the guys' wheels that they use, and they're they're like racing in a real car, to be honest. And as a guy who does formula racing, it's definitely not easy. I can tell you that much. When you come home from a day of work and getting ready to jump onto a sim to get racing for a whole 24 hours. It's not easy. So once again, mentally and physically prepared. I would say if you want your questions answered by he or anyone really in the chat, ask it around about, I don't know, probably 6 hours before the race, or before when their expected stint is, because you know a lot of people are probably going to get angry if you're going to be asking questions 5-10 minutes before the race, and it's just going to get all cluttered and it's just difficult. So yeah, please try to get your questions in as early as possible in the race or before the race, just to help us out. It's not always easy. So yeah, anything else you want to talk about here?
No, I think everybody is waiting for the qualifying session to start, and that's what I will do now. So I will set up the qualifying session, invite everybody, which is usually like 40 people, because it's quite a lot of drivers. If you do the stint or the hot lap, the single shot hot lap for your team, join a session, then we will start a session. I will just put the stream now to this pause video with some highlights of the first ever GAVRA season in Project Cars 2, so it's quite some time ago. Evil Dragon will hear himself quite a lot. So yeah, I will just start the lobby and then we will see each other in a few minutes.
Alright, thank you. Catch you next time, guys. And yeah, wish everyone luck for the 24-hour. Good luck.
Pirelli gets away well. Alessio gets a storming start, goes into second. He's gonna
try it.
On the brakes.
Yes, he tries, takes a
so
slide.
down
inside he goes. One's wide. Throws him through as well, and into second place. That's how you do
12
it.
12 cars are within a second of each other. Actually, 13 are within a second of each other. That is actually madness. That shows how evenly matched it is.
Might take him on the inside again.
He's challenging. Oh, he is. Look at this.
No.
After 6 battles with a wild Renault. Look at that side by side behind. Around the outside. Segan, I think, around the outside as well. To go GJ Luke, and they're still side by side. Would you look at this? You don't see this very often. Ooh.
Well, great stuff between those two.
Other side again. What's ooh.
Yeah, good move. Should be able to.
Championship contender. Oh, he's going to launch it on the inside. And there you have it. All said and done.
Metro trying to the inside. Here we are then. For the lead. For the lead. Does he make a move? Tries. No, can't do it. Gets his nose chopped right
Not close enough to make a move. I would have think down the inside. What a dive! And does do it. What a dive from such a long way back. That wasn't even an overtaking opportunity, and now he's coming back side by side, down into the right-hander, and they almost touch around the outside, now down the inside. Look at this, side by side. Absolutely bonkers, and this lets Pirelli catch up. Down the inside goes, down the inside. Beautiful move. Does he do it? Pulls it off. Fantastic move then.
It was Gav left.
Oh, Tsuki! Oh my... The most cartoon crash ever. It's a... no improvement for Hiker. Is it going to be one for It Forgets? Yes, but they... Oh my god. Now that is teammates. That is how identical those cars are. Exactly the same time. 120.823.
Down the inside here, he'll try the... Oh, he's on the grass! On the grass! And passes! And tries! Now he's going to be diving on the brake! Down the inside goes Safe and go. What a move from the Italian!
There's 1 point in it. Van Elk wins by 1 point otherwise. So Razy's got... He's he's lost it. Oh, Van Elk spun. Van Elk, they both spun. Oh my god. Oh my god. They will both be going mental.
Sweden wins the American Grand Prix. Let's go to third position, Low, as coming through and crossing the line, your new world champion. Hayo is the champion of the world. Metro 666 comes the line and wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and with it the title itself, and slows right down.
Is he gonna? Yeah.
And world champion, Vectro 666, finally. Well, 5 lights, and we're underway, and well, there goes the grid, and they're gone. Something has gone horribly wrong.
Up the inside of Hiker. Nice move there. Hiker noticed him and gave the space.
And away we go, and it's a very good start from Rip It Up. Look at him, right down the middle. Vectro also getting away very well there. Sig up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he is. No, he's not.
Almost made contact.
Almost made contact there.
Get through. I think they've all got through.
Everyone has got through there. Rip It Up going a bit slowly on the inside there. Solid Salita losing the back end, but keeps it.
See, down the inside. That's going to be a easy move if he does get anywhere, but again, Furia breaks very late. Oh!
Here as these two battle away, Skulls going around the outside, later on the brakes. Harry Butter taking the inside line. He's still there. Harry Butter's gone wide. Skull diving all over the place on the track. He's got to be careful of Boston Road. Boston Road's caught right up. Boston Road's going up the inside. Skull's just noticed him. They're side by side, almost.
He's looking around the outside into the last corner, into the clock curve. That's brave. That's very brave.
You think this one's Hector? Oh boy, yeah.
Oh, he tried that inside! And he got to move this time. He's alongside and trying and hurry and hurry and hurry and hurry. And he's trying to the outside. Is even going to give him that? He's going to brake late. Can Andre try a cutback? No, not yet. He'll be brave to go on the lead. Looking for the lead. Vectro takes the lead here, and now red turns and hits him away. Does almost hit him.
I thought he was going to then, but he moved. I think he moved over.
Inside goes DJ. Does he make the move? No, he backs out of it. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he definitely doesn't. Well, down the inside goes Mateo. There we go. Back down the inside. Have that one, Sunshine. Now he's going to go around the inside again, isn't he? If he goes down the inside again, I'll be bonkered. Nah, you can't. That's going to end the contact. No, it's on side, and then backs out of it. Oh, he runs wide. Oh, he's going to go down the inside. That's Alonso. There was Alonso the Massa. Oh, that's Ferrari around this corner. Here we are then for the Belgium Grand Prix. 5 lights. Go! And Barry gets a fantastic start. Ethan left trolling behind there.
And further back, Ethan already going defensive at turn 1. Down the inside comes one of the BMWs now. And almost taps the side of the Mercedes further back. Carnage going on there. And I believe they all get through cleanly at turn 1 this time. Ferrari though, he's going to have a look down the inside. Down the inside goes Ferrari. Covering off goes the Ferrari. Round the outside goes it forgets. Well, this is bonkers down the back. Well, talk about great racing to end the year. Again, not good enough there. It's this track. He's going to try on the outside. One's wide, and he's going to be side by side. Is Salita going to try down the inside? They're going to make contact. They're not.
Vectra's ran off the track. Yes. Vectra did run off the track there, but I don't think...
Get away with it.
He might just get away with it.
Going to make the move. Yes. Into the lead. Pulls alongside. Pulls ahead the Audi. First of the Ferrari. Now, Ronnie is going to be going shallow. Can he go on the outside again? Yes. Yes. Fight, fight, fight. And takes the lead again. And watch out for that McLaren following behind. This is fantastic stuff. Your top 3 separated by under 1 second. And coming along is Solo Salita. He's going to try turn 1. Does he get through? They all finally, I think they've all got through at turn 1 correctly. I think it's finally happened. They've all got through turn 1. Will they get through turn 2? They almost make contact at the back. They're all squirming together.
Let's see, and Alessia's lost it again, and a Ferrari at the same time. Synchronised spinning right there.
I don't think anything can Red do. Gav into the lead. Gav leads the Belgian Grand Prix. And boy, oh boy, has this turned into a shocker. Red in the pit for the lead. He's got a beautiful run. Slingshots past and takes the lead. Now, we'll have the inside. Now, this could be close. And down the inside. Yes, he does do it. One's a bit wide. Cut back. Could be new options. Now, side by side. As they come down here. Hoy's going to try and give him as much of a squeeze. And does take second position there. Oh, he tries slow. Backs out that time. It's the rear almost there.
So close. So
behind the slipstream. I don't think Alessia's going to do too much about this as he goes down the inside into turn 1. Alessia's going to try and hold it around the outside. Gets on the grass around the outside. Alessia tries to hold on, and it's not going to quite do it for Alessia. And Ferrari makes that move and gets it finished.
Pulling along. He's going to go to the lead. They've got Sig on the outside. It's going to be free into turn 1. Is it all going to be clean? The answer to that is a grand total of yes. It seems to be. Running wide. There goes Fundown. He's going to jump up to second. Sig drops down to 4th, and this is going
third position in this Grand Prix. Look at Pancho. He might give him a little squeeze towards the wall. Down the inside goes Idriess for 3rd position. Can he get it done, or will he hold it around the outside? He'll try. He will try to hold it around the outside. He gives him the squeeze. Contact made. Good little battle. Idriess will move to 3rd position, and can he come back? No, he can't. Good little battle from those two guys there.
Brave if he's going to try. I think he'll back out of it. Surely he has to, unless it's me, because I would have made a move, but he backs out of it. One's wide. He's going to go for the lead. He is into the lead, and he leads. Skull leads. Battling. That was handsome there. Down the inside. That's a good move. Get it there over the curb. Bagging tyres.
Did he cut him there? Did he cut him? I thought he cut him.
Does it? Podium. He's on the podium. Finally, he's done it. After so long. Forza GAVRA. There's everyone celebrating. Solo Salita's just having a donut. Does do it. Same position where another car with a side by side down to a route. This could end badly. Does it? Brazy bravely backs out of that one. He's not going to try that. He'd be mad to try side by side.
Ruapuna Park. The lights go red for Ruapuna Park. Round 6. And it's go! And Cash gets an amazing start. Ferrari gets away well. Alessio gets a storming start. Goes into second. He's going to
try it.
On the brakes.
Yes, he tries, takes a slice. Down inside he goes. One's wide. Throws him through as well. And into second place. That's how you do
12
it.
12 cars are within a second of each other. Actually, 13 are within a second of each other. That is actually madness. That shows how evenly matched it is.
Might take him on the inside again.
He's challenging. Oh, he is. Look at this. No. Does Sig battles with a wild Renault. Look at that side by side behind. Around the outside. Sig, and I think around the outside as well. To go DJ Luke, and they're still side by side. Would you look at this? You don't see this very often. Ooh. Well, great stuff between those two.
Side by side again. What's
yeah, good move. Should be able.
Championship contender. Oh, he's going to launch down the inside. And there you have it. All said and done.
Metro trying to the inside. Here we are then. For the lead. Does he make a move? Tries! No, can't do it. Gets his nose chopped right off.
Not close enough to make a move. I would have think down the inside. What a dive! And does do it. What a dive from such a long way back.
Unbelievable.
That wasn't even an overtaking opportunity, and now he's coming back side by side, down into the right-hander, and they almost touch around the outside, now down the inside. Look at this, side by side. Absolutely bonkers, and this lets Pirelli catch up. Down the inside goes, down the inside. Beautiful move. Does he do it? Pulls it off. Fantastic move then.
It was Gav left.
Oh, Tsuki! Oh my... The most cartoon crash ever. It's no improvement for Hiker. Is it going to be one for It Forgets? Yes, but they... Oh my god. Now that is teammates. That is how identical those cars are. Exactly the same time. 120.823.
Inside here, he'll try the... Oh, he's on the grass! On the grass! And passes! And tries! Now he's going to be diving on the brake. Down the inside goes Saperson and go. What a move from the Italian!
There's 1 point in it. Van Elk wins by 1 point otherwise. So Razy's got... He's he's lost it. Oh, Van Elk spun. Van Elk, they both spun. Oh my god. Oh my god. They will both be going mental.
Sweden wins the American Grand Prix. Let's go to third position, Low, as coming through and crossing the line, your new world champion. Hyo is the champion of the world. Metro 666 comes the line and wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and with it the title itself, and slows right down.
Is he got it? Yeah.
And world champion, Vectro 666, finally. Well, 5 lights, and we're underway, and well, there goes the grid, and they're gone. Something has gone horribly wrong.
Up the inside of Hiker, nice move there. Hiker noticed him and.
Hello and welcome back to the Le Mans track. Here we're actually looking at the live qualifying here today as we see Cypherknight 77 in the Spirit of Durant team coming out here in the Ferrari 458 GTE car as he's looking to come and set his qualifying lap, modulating the throttle as he comes out of the pit lane. Cold tires, just got to be nice and careful on the throttle on this opening lap. Also, just trying to get the tires up to the optimal temperature for him to be able to push as hard as possible. Coming on to the huge back, or I don't know if you'd call it a back straight, I guess to the side straight, as he absolutely lets that Ferrari power rip. 240 kilometers an hour there in 4th gear, shifting up. I believe he's got probably all of his shift notes written in the car there for him today, as he gets ready to be the fastest driver in his team, to set the fastest time that he can, as yeah, really ripping down to that straight, coming now into the chicane, braking at about the 200 meter board, I believe he was. So with cold brakes, probably still just getting them up to temperature. We'll probably be pushing. I know that the LMP1 2016 cars can brake at around the 100 meter board with the correct brake settings. But obviously the GTE cars a little bit slower, a little bit, arguably a little bit more heavier, and less engine braking and front and rear braking on the brake bias. But coming down now into the second chicane, braking just before the 100 meter board as well. So maybe he is able to brake with the LMP1 cars. You can see the brakes red hot there as he went past our camera there. So definitely probably running a closed brake duct, front and rear, to get the temperatures up as high as possible. And lucky this lap is so long, because I'm able to introduce my my co-commentator, or arguably the main commentator here today, of Mr. Hare. How are we today?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for introduction. As we see Cypherknight going into the gravel. Yeah, sadly we have no volume because I turned it off for the Q&A to hear everything loud and clear. So you maybe have to yeah, shout a bit to bring in the atmosphere. Sadly, we have no engine noises. I'm sorry for that.
No, that's fine. It's alright. I can make my own sounds. Meow. Num, 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 num. Is that good enough? As he comes now through Indianapolis and down into the tight corner, the two slowest corners on the track here, as he's breaking down first gear. I think he'll go into, and yes, I was right. Oh, big lockup going very wide. Those front two tires absolutely screeched coming into there. As he's swerving left to right, trying to get some tire temperature in that car. It's probably really starved of tire temperature. I know it takes for me in the LMP1 car at least a lap and a bit to get the car up to temperature as he comes down into the Porsche curves. As he's going to be just pushing through here, and that Ferrari looks very stable on entry, but maybe the driver's just not necessarily confident enough. He's only going half throttle through here, so probably just still once again trying to get the car set up for quality, get that brake bias set, and if he can, try to move that differential a bit. You can see the flags waving in the background for the Ferrari boy through the the Corvette curves now into the Ford curves as he gets ready to start his lap. Cypher he's definitely going to be the one to be pushing today here in the Ferrari against the two Corvette GTE cars. As he gets ready to go, you can see he really turns up the wick as he comes out of the Ford curves now, really moving that Ferrari onto the main straight here, coming up to Dunlop curve and then Dunlop chicane, through Dunlop now into the Dunlop curve and now into the Dunlop chicane. A lot of Dunlops being said. Fifth gear now breaking down into second, maybe first. He's going to use first to get that extra bite and turning of the front end. Really stable through that through the Dunlop chicane as now he comes out of Dunlop into the tight corners of the S's and then into Rouge, which is always a hard one to say. Look at how much he was on the limit there in second gear, nearly going straight into the bollards. Coming out of Tentry Rouge, which I'm gonna absolutely butcher the name of, and then the next one, I don't even know how to pronounce this straight. I'm gonna have a go, and I think it's Hundaries. I'm not sure. It's probably French, so I have no idea how to say it, even though I learned French. But yeah, here, talk us through this little bit of the lap through the chicanes. You know how to do it.
I have no idea how to do it in a GTE, but Siphanite actually knows how to do that. Yeah, he goes very wide. I think that's the best line to go here. Uses all the track width. The track width is actually only this outer white lines. Left and right from that, it's not the track anymore, so you have to stay on that, yeah, on the real road, so to say, because it's a real life road. You can just use it during the year, except for the 24-hour race.
Yeah, that was very on the limit there from Cypher Knight coming into the braking zone. I saw a little plume of smoke coming off. I think it was the front left tire, so he's gonna have to be a little bit cautious coming into Mulsanne now, which will be very difficult on that front left tire if it's a bit overheated, because he's gonna be turning and braking at the same time. Braking now at the start of the curb. Here he goes, very hard into the chicane, into the hairpin, as he now exits out full beans on that Ferrari, that V8 power, absolutely launching him up into Indianapolis very soon. So under the Rolex sign, try to take minimal curb there, because it can shake around the RPM in the car. He's already used nearly 4 liters of fuel from when he started this lap, and he's definitely going to be the one to be pushing now. Also out on the track, I believe, in the Corvette is the Schmid, but we'll stay looking at Cypher Knight. Speaking of staying on looking at him, we'll go on board now to take a look onto what he's looking at. Braking now hard, very hard, and locked up there in his outland, but probably was just trying to get some sort of temperature in the car, in the car under the Porsche. under the Porsche banner now, coming up to the Porsche curves, which is always difficult on a car with a lacking amount of downforce. As we go back off board, looking at those marshals, just taking a look at that Ferrari breaking down now into third gear. Very hard to get the front end turned in as quickly as possible. Didn't catch too much curb there, so didn't unsettle the rear end by too much. Very clean run he's running through here. Look at the commitment of the driver, running full throttle through the first part of the Porsche curves, now into the Corvette curves. A lot of curves being thrown out. As now you will be approaching the Ford chicane, I believe it is, or chicanes, multiple of them, down into second gear to get that nose turn in. Then he'll be chucking it down to first gear momentarily to get that car turned in. This is going to be the lap that will matter. Will it matter to him though? Will he be the fastest GTA on track? And he sets a 3:55.465. We have no idea what that means so far, but we jump back now with the Schmid, who I believe is just about to start his car. Yeah, he's just about to turn the ignition on and get this car roaring. The Corvette, a very powerful car along the straights, not necessarily great through the corners. Hey, talk us through the first part of the lap.
I actually won't. I will just take over on the straight and talk a bit about times that the Schmidt and all the other drivers have to set.
Sweeter, thank you for that heavy insight there. Here, once again, here doing the job here. Yeah, Smid coming now into the S's. Very difficult on that Corvette, trying to get the front end turned in. I would like to add that he's running a bit more fuel than the Ferrari car, so maybe Corvette's a bit of a guzzler on that fuel as he comes now into. Once again, I'm gonna absolutely butcher the name of this straight, but I'm just gonna call it a big old line coming down into a chicane. Yeah, coming through the big old line down into the chicane. I'll let Hare take over from now.
Yeah, so just to show you what it's all about, and now I will show you, for instance, that the timetable basically. So Spirit of the Run set a time with Cifernite, a 3:55.465, which is faster than his previous fastest lap in a whole 2-hour session, so very fast. But at the moment it's ESR Racing, and they have to set a wait, that's a bit wrong here. I will just check that again. But I think they have to set like a 4-minute time, so he should be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely should be able to improve on this lap. Hopefully, maybe we could see a fight in the early stages of the 24-hour race between the Ferrari and the two Corvette boys, trying to push as hard as possible throughout this race to try and move that car further up the grid. Second gear, I noticed he's using into Mulsanne, whereas the Ferrari was using first. But I believe, is it the Ferrari's only got 4 gears? I'm not sure if it had 6. 4 gears, 5 gears, that's what I meant. But I'm not sure. Feel free to correct me if you so please. But yeah, I also noticed that I'm going to butcher this name once again, that Oldrome in the Corvette as well is out on track, as we see Cipher coming into Indianapolis, pushing the absolute limit through there, as he's trying to gain as much from those tires. You saw those tires shred a little bit of rubber off onto the off the racing line, and really locked up a little bit on the front right tire on the inside, coming into the hairpin, which was very consequential now as he comes into the Porsche curves. Now he's definitely going to be wanting to push the car as much as possible through these corners, using 4th gear compared to the Ferrari using 3rd. So this could arguably be a faster lap, but I guess that's that higher amount of RPM that Corvette does have. So he's able to use his transmission to the absolute maximum here, really pushing nearly flat out through the Porsche curves, and lifting off just a tad through the Corvette curves. Now coming into the Ford chicane, definitely going to be pushing it as hard as he can. Now the The Corvette driver will be coming now down into the Ford chicanes, really pushing it down into second gear now, maybe using first if he needs. Coming out, will this be quick enough to get in front of the Ferrari driver? Will it? Yes, it is. He goes quicker by a whole second and a half nearly, as that Corvette would just look so stable out on the track, and arguably the best of the GTE cars as we see Old Drone. I'm not sure if he's on a lap. He might actually be. We might have missed his start of the lap, but coming down into the final part of the corner, really taking no prisoner. Yeah, this must be his flying lap, as he's been following in the dirty air of Schmid, who's now going to go over the line. Is he able to do anything? No. Maybe this will be the start of
he will start his lap now.
Old Trome's Yeah, that was a little confusing for me, as he's going to be braking now into the Dunlop chicane. So very hard. Oh, locked up on the on both tires there. A little bit of plume of smoke once again as he comes out now out of Dunlop into the S. Is going to be pushing those rear tires as much as possible. That front right tire will also be taking an absolute beating through these corners as he comes out into Tetrage and onto the Hundalis straight. I think it's Hundalis. Hundianap. I'm just gonna give up once again. As we see Le Mans off to the side there on the directional sign, but he's going the opposite way to Le Mans. He's on the big long straight coming down to the chicanes. I guess that's what you've got to call it if you don't know the name. The big long straight with a little bit of curves in it. That could actually describe the whole track. But yeah, through the chicane now. Hare, anything to add? Anything interesting on the timings you've seen so far?
Yeah, I have to apologize, because actually Old Rome and the Beauty and the Beast were behind European Sim Racing, so I mixed it up. I'm sorry, I just looked at the 5 lap times, because there the Beauty and the Beast were faster, but the single lap was the Schmidt yesterday faster than them, so they were leading. At the moment they need to go into first position, so Old Rome needs a lap time of 3 minutes 53.165 to equalize it. He has to go faster to go into front. He has done that before. So yesterday he had set a 3 minute 52.709. So yeah, it's possible for him. So he has to be within 4/10 of his fastest lap time so far. I think that's possible for him, maybe. So that's quite some tension. Who will get the first the P1 in the GTE class?
Yeah, definitely going to be spicing up in the GTE Pro, as the drivers are going to be pushing it as much as possible through all the corners here, and really going to be moving the car throughout, now coming into Indianapolis, really braking hard. Wow, big lock up there, and he goes a little wide as well, taking a little bit of curb just for the lulls coming into Arnage. Really going to be moving the car down in first gear, whereas as Smid was using second. Really gets the drive out though under the Porsche. I'd arguably say that he's about about half a second quicker, which may be able to boost him in front of European sim racing, and that will definitely be a big role to play in the 24-hour of Le Mans. Let's see what gear he uses. Fourth gear, and he's off the throttle and brake, both at the same time, just lifting the car through now into Porsche curves. Really going to be moving it now into fifth gear. Really no lift from the driver there. Big commitment. Now he lifts into the second part of Porsche curves. Now coming into the Corvette curves, his home curves, some would say, as he absolutely lets it rip out of the Corvette curves, coming into his rival curves, the Ford curves. Shame I don't believe we have any Ford cars coming in, braking at the absolute maximum there, using third gear to his advantage, exiting out now down into second, really braking at the last moment, taking no extra curb than he needs. He's going to come up to the line. Will he go quicker? Yes, he will, by 5/10, and I judge that to, or 6/10 I should actually say.
I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure at the moment, because that is 1,000th lower than the expected lap time, which will be equal.
Oh.
I'm now not sure if there are some rounding issues, maybe leading to one or another driver being in first. I will just put these times in and then have a look. So that's really close.
That's
so
gutting.
So the average lap time of both teams is now 3 minutes 53 seconds, .034. Both teams. I'm really sorry at the moment. I don't know who is leading. I will check again. I have also the 5 laps. So if there is, so if there is if there's one team being in the 5 lap average a bit faster than the other, that will count it. So it will be like not the 1000th second will count, but yeah, 1 digit behind. Yeah, that's some really close qualifying here. I'm sorry I can't say who is first now.
Yeah, well, that means for everyone in the chat right now, you're just gonna have to use these two words. Stay tuned. That's the one that he's got to use. But speaking of cars staying tuned, clearly the Audi, the LMP H car from 2016, was banging it up along the straight now coming down into Mulsanne. This is one of my competitors, so I'll be watching him like a hawk through the race, and big spin as well, just getting the rear end of the car on the curbs. So Heo and myself, being a part of the GSA team, which will be qualifying very soon, is sitting in our little commentary chairs right now, clapping our hands. We're hoping for arguably bad luck for the Audi team, so that we won't have too much competition going into the 24-hour race, and arguably not too much pressure either. Now into Indianapolis, I believe the car does have a little bit of damage. I'm looking on the side. I don't know, is damage on here? I think it is. Whoa.
Yeah, damage is on. So or it should be on. I'm not so sure, because in broadcasting mode you cannot see it, but it should be on. So yeah, that's quite of a disadvantage. And the second thing, which will be quite of a disadvantage for Alex here, is that he is running with the race setup with full tank.
Yeah, so he'll be burning everything. So the car will be extremely heavy. I mean, he's running 44 liters of fuel, so that's a big mistake from the Audi team. So I guess they've just got to work with what they've got for now, and try to push as hard as possible through this lap. So it's really just going to be at this stage pushing as hard as possible. You can clearly see they've got their fastest driver, and they're coming into the chicane now. He'll be ripping it out of there, the forward chicane, as he lets it rip, using a bit of ERS as well. To move the car as high as possible in the gears and in the speed department, as he's now braking down very heavily into the Dunlop chicane and out into the Dunlop curve as well. He goes now down into the S's, where he's just going to be this is where these cars really show their pace, through the Porsche curves, and the S's is really where you can see on how much downforce and grip these cars have. I mean, compared to the GTE cars, they were doing about 150 through there. He's doing a 250, so a 100 kilometers an hour lap difference. Here, anything to add on this lap so far?
I don't know. I don't think I can add something at this point. He is actually doing a very high top speed here with like 345. I don't think that's the best idea to use the curse system that late on the straight. You have a bit of a higher top speed, but you lose a lot of curse doing that, and that you will be missing out in the rest of the lap.
I know using the KERS system. I mean, just look at the difference now. He's only hitting 321 or so before he's braking. He was hitting 345. So yeah, he might be a bit lacked on KERS, but if that's how the team wants to use them, that's how they'll use it. Yeah, I know our team has been doing a lot of, or myself personally has been doing a lot of practice with the ERS to get around the lap with using it to the fullest. So yeah, every driver will just be managing it and using it to their liking. Let's hope he doesn't spin this time. Yep, doesn't catch that outside curb, or nearly does, actually, arguably. But let's take a Larry look on board. Yeah, you can see that damage on the front end plate there of that front left tire. So yeah, he'll really be pushing it now to try and get somewhere representable along the field, and arguably the Audi is one of the quickest cars in the straight line. I believe. I'm a bit unsure though. So yeah, really ripping it out of these corners coming into R&H. Now back onto the off-board cameras as yeah, really. Oh no! And he's lost it, and that will just be so gutting. I mean, look at the amount of smoke he plumes up. Still got time to improve though. Yeah, really gutting there. Here, what do you reckon happened there? Just lost to the rear end using the KERS on exit.
I think he didn't use the KERS here on the exit, and that cost even this spin, because KERS usually, I don't know, actually I don't know how it's done in the Audi, but usually it's on the front tires, or all of them, and that gives you a bit of understeer rather than oversteer. So putting your foot on the throttle gives you oversteer. With the KERS you can actually work a bit against it, and he didn't do that probably, and then getting a lot of oversteer and yeah, spinning around. That's an invalid lap probably.
Locked up. Yeah. So yeah, invalidated lap. Nope.
It counts for me.
328.25. That's not a great lap. That's my type of lap that I'd be setting in that car, which is really not that great. But anyway, we have some other cars appearing out on track of Ghost Hunter here in the Porsche, I believe. So he gets ready to start his lap. Here he goes. Or has he already started a lap? I'm not sure. I think he will be starting a lap now. Got all over the curbs there, so yeah, no, invalidated lap, I believe, from him, or maybe just a slowdown. I'm not sure what it was. I had
he just started a lap.
No? Okay, Sweat.
It's always like this.
Okay, Sweater. Thank God. I was about to say, no one's setting a lap. As we see the Porsche absolutely rip it out. This is a car that I really like the look of, but our team decided to go with the Toyota, which is arguably more beautiful, the most beautiful, as he rips it out of the S's into Tetris and out onto the back straight. Look at the absolute commitment from the drivers there on the curves, getting so close to that wall. Wow, look at how close that rear end was to the wall. Trying to use maybe some gear bouncing effect to try and get some sort of sound sonic boom, but yeah, we don't know just yet what the Porsche's tactics are, but yeah, really using the car to the maximum. I mean, look at his straight line speed compared to the Audi, who was about 345. Once again, just going to mention that number, 345 kilometers. That's a huge amount of stream. That's stream speed from a car like that, and the Porsche was only hitting around about 328, 329, which was even very quick for a car, because you know, you got to have the coefficient of the downforce that you need for these curves. Coming now into the second chicane and launching himself into Mulsanne. Here he goes in fifth gear, really using the car to the maximum there and pushing as much as he likes. Anything to add just yet? Here on this lap? Any mistakes really? Any timing mishaps you've seen so far?
No, it really looks like a very nice time so far. Very professional, using all the width of the track, but not too much, not risking too much. Very nicely done. I think the Porsche really drives very well. The Toyota is a bit more, sometimes a bit more tricky, but it also is very, very fast. I think So we chose the Toyota over the Porsche as a team, and also Ferrari beat it, and the Dreamy racing teams prefer the Porsche over the Toyota. So there you see that these cars are really equal, and it just is a matter of taste, what you like more. Very competitive cars at the moment. Just regarding the timings, so F1 online league team by Alex and some friends of him, they were setting like this 3-minute 28.252 time. That means that Ghost Hunter has to be lower than 3-minute 40.748, so that should be possible for him if he does not invalidate his lap.
Don't commentator curse his lap. Don't.
That was close. That was close.
Yeah, that was very. I saw the curb and I was like, oh no, that's definitely. But now breaking into the Ford chicane, going to be the last time he's going to be doing this in a qualifying session on maximum limit, as he's going to absolutely rip the car out of the corners. And let's see what time he does. It's going to be a 20.7, so a really good lap actually, a really quite stable lap, and was really nice and controlled. Joshua Luke. 1993 now getting ready to start his lap. He's got a significant amount of less of fuel than his other Porsche teammate, which may cost him here, but I guess they might be planning to use more ERS. This I don't know whether he's on a lap or he's not. This is the confusing part.
He's not.
You don't necessarily know.
No, it's done like that.
Okay.
Everybody will just start their lap when we will switch to them. That's
Okay.
how it's done.
Yep. Sweeter. Well, then he's got a significant less amount of fuel. I know that the Ghost Hunter started with 9 liters of fuel. Really revving the absolute John Thomas out of the Porsche there as he exits out of the Dunlop section now into the S's. Oh, look at the rear end of that car stepping out. Oh no, he's made contact with the wall. I think that might be invalidated lap as well for contact. Yeah, there's definitely some rubbing along the side of the car, but I'll still commentate his lap because that's type of personnel. Our here, by the way, our car has exited the pit lane now. I'm going out for his out lap. First of the Toyota's out now. As Josh, I hope he's alright with me calling him Josh or Little Joshy. Might be his mum calling him that, Little Joshy. I'm alright with that. As he comes into the chicane, exiting out very quickly. And here, anything to add on the lap so far? A little bit scruffy, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the lap is invalidated. Usually, if you hit a wall, if it's a hard enough hit, that means instant. Invalidation of the lap. I don't know if he has some damage, maybe some suspension damage even from this hit. I don't see the damage here, so you have to tell me if there's any damage, because for me all the cars look beautiful as ever.
I'm looking around. I'm trying to find something. I can't find too much just yet. I think there's some on the side, so that might have a bit of an effect on maybe steering or suspension. I know there's some on the side of that Porsche, so yeah, a little bit of grazing, but I think that's just rubbing with the wall. So it could be a whole entourage of things. Could be the suspension, steering, tires, even rear wing, front wing, rear end. Front suspension, right suspension, left suspension, all those. So yeah, that Porsche could be having some internal problems. At this stage, might have also done some engine damage. So yeah, we'll look out, see if there's any major mistakes again from the Porsche, and then we'll definitely know as he exit out of Arnage, which is my favorite corner to say. Mulsanne and Arnage, so my two favorite to say. I think I'm pronouncing Arnage right. I don't know. Feel free to correct me, if you so please. And now into the Porsche curve. It's going to definitely be pushing it as much as possible. Sorry if my voice changed a little bit. Not as excited now, as I don't know if it's invalidated or not. So he'll definitely be pushing it now in 6th gear, absolutely ripping the shreds off those tires. Saw a little bit of rubber come off onto the curb a little bit as well. So maybe that Porsche grabbing a little bit of RPM bounce from the curb as well. Braking now very hard down to 4th gear. Oh no, he's using 5th. Chucks it down to 4th and the late path down into 3rd, exiting out. Will this time be legal or will it be invalidated? It is legal, and it goes with a 3:19.835, topping the timesheets in front of Ghost by nearly just over a second. As I believe Interceptor is now starting a lap now. The first of the Toyotas go out, and I'm sitting here in my little team jacket, gearing my boy on as we get ready to start our lap. The number 6 car getting ready to absolutely push it to the maximum as he starts his lap. Heo, what are you hoping for in regards to times of the Toyota here?
Yeah, sorry. I just typed in the lap times. So yeah, our man Interceptor is doing his lap, or the beginning of his lap. What I'm hoping for is basically better than what we just saw in regards of the qualifying. So at the moment it's the Team Mel, which is not here today, single PS4 driving team.
Whoa.
Wow, he's really going sideways. They are not here. They are in 6th place, of course. Then it's F1 Online Liga. At the moment, let's say, in 5th place. Then the Dreamy Racing Team 2, then Dreamy Racing Team 1, then GSA and Ferrari B. But the two GSA and Ferrari B have to prove their position yet. And Interceptor needs a 3-minute 25.204 for that. He is able to pull this. He is even able to pull 3-minute 15 times. So I hope we will see some quite good time from him here. Maybe even to put some pressure on Cashnet for the Ferrari B team.
Yeah, he's definitely absolutely ripping out of a Tetrage. He was absolutely ripping the car out of there. Maybe using a little bit of ARS, or also known as KERS, out of the exit, and I saw his wheels go sideways, and I saw the back end step out, and I was like, no, please. So yeah, definitely pushing it to the absolute maximum. He's now into Mulsanne, really braking as late as possible, and he's really just ripping it out. Could be going for a Kamui Kobayashi lap. As obviously he drove the same Toyota car as this one. I believe he did. Maxing out in 6th gear there, up into 7th, just before 306 kilometers an hour, and will now be ripping it into Indianapolis, the banking turn, and braking down into 2nd gear, I believe it is, or maybe it's 3rd, I can't remember. And he does use 3rd. Oh, taking a lot of gravel there on the exit, jumping over the curbs as well. That front front right tire will be absolutely screeching for some help, as he's really ripping the absolute shreds out of this car. And at this stage, you've got to say he's got to be at least maybe even a second up or so on Joshua's time, as coming now into the Porsche curves. Look how stable the car is there in 6th gear, absolutely flat out. He lifted off a little bit, but mainly through the whole section of the Porsche curves, he's flat out. No respect given by this Porsche car. Bit of a wide line in 6th gear, able to absolutely push it there on the curbs, and he's really showing what he's got today. The number 6 driver really pushing it. Interceptor may do the fastest lap around here, braking there in 4th gear. Didn't use 5th, now down to 3rd, just on the exit. A little bit more fuel than all the other cars on the curb, stuck there a little bit. What is he gonna go? And it was an invalidate. No, it wasn't. It was a 3:18.8. Or 0.087, and that was an absolutely amazing lap. We move on to Cashnet now, taking a look at the Toyota. What do you think of that lap there? They're here, 1.7 seconds up on anyone else.
Yeah, great lap, great lap. He was giving it all. Yeah, Interceptor is crazy fast, but also sometimes a crazy driver. Going there really on the limit. Sometimes really, yeah, going sideways in an LMP car is not the usual way. But he gave it all. I think he's not happy with his time, if I know him correctly, because he always wants to get the fastest time. Maybe he was even playing it safe, although it didn't look like it. But yeah, he was giving, to us it looked like he was giving it all. And now Cashnet is probably going to do that, or maybe even playing it safe, because Ferrari B was already up the timing table, and yeah, so maybe they will just play it safe, but maybe they also want to set a statement here.
Yeah, definitely they want to be setting a statement. I mean, going into a full 24 hours of racing, whoa, nearly just quit the lobby. That would have been bad. But riding on board here with the Toyota car of Cashnet, really just going to be pushing the absolute maximum out of his car today. Got a little bit of damage on the side there. I see next to his front right tire, a little bit of grazing there. So maybe he's hit a little bit of a wall, maybe made a little bit of a whoopsie. So yeah, definitely will be difficult for Cashnet now to maybe regain that confidence if he has made of a bit of a whoopsie woo. But at this stage, he's looking pretty confident to set a good time. At this stage, as we turn over to 7 o'clock on here in Australian time, as my alarm goes off. Great. As he breaks down now for the second chicane along that huge straight, really good exit as well in there in fourth gear, and now coming down from Mulsanne. What is he able to do, the second Toyota car? The number 5 driver, I believe it is. Can't see it just yet. I believe it's the number 5. Yes, it is. Maybe he's a strong fan of Sebastian Vettel, maybe trying to prove a statement here. Breaking down to Mulsanne, big braking zone, little bit of a lockup as well, and a little bit of struggling to jump on the power nice and early there. So had a little bit of lag in jumping on the power there. But yeah, right now he's just absolutely pushing it to the limit. Reminds me of that song, "Push It to the Limit." So yeah, he's definitely pushing it to the limit at this stage. Really just a lot of, I've noticed that a lot of the drivers are running quite a lean amount of fuel here, but I guess if you want the car to be as light as possible, wow, look at the braking there. I guess if you want to be the car as light as possible, you're going to have to run with the leanest amount of fuel that you can run, as he rips it out of Arenage. They're grabbing a bit of grass as well for good measures, as we go back to the off-board view into the Porsche curves now, really going to be pushing it. I mean, look at the undulation of the track. That car is just gaining speed. That's all it's doing. And now he's going to be jumping into the braking zone. A little bit of a lift there in 6th gear, goes down to 5th. Go ahead here.
So he needs a 3-minute 18.96 in order to get this P1, the pole. Yeah, so that's it.
Don't know if that'll be possible, but we don't know just yet. Yeah, definitely got some damage on that light at the front. Coming down into the forward curves, or forward chicane, I should say. Will he be able to top anyone else on the timing sheets? He rips it out. A little bit of a loss of the rear end there as well. What is he able to do? And it's only a 3-minute 24.2. So, unfortunately, that means we grab pole for this 24-hour race, and very happy with that here. What do you think?
Seems like it. I'm really surprised. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, that's a surprise. I don't know. Maybe in game it was a bit different than for us broadcasters. Maybe some invalidated lap or something like that. We have to check that. But yeah, apart from that. Great qualifying. I don't know yet who is first in GTE, so sorry about that. It's either European Sim Racing or Beauty and the Beasts, but in LMP1 it looks like it's the yeah, German, Swedish, Australian racing team who grabbed the pole, which is us. Great race, great qualifying by Interceptor here.
Yeah, very, very great qualifying by everyone here. Really, we were all just pushing to the limits, and everyone was able to set a relatively representable time. But at the end of it, Interceptor was the man on pole here for Toyota, the GSA Racing team here. And unfortunately, unfortunately, Joshua, not being able to grab that allotted top place on the qualifying. Ghost Hunter there in third with a 2 minute with a 3 minute 2 minute would be impressive. A 3 minutes 20.7. And Casher missed out by around 4 seconds there. They're in fourth place with a 3:24, 5.9 seconds off the pace from Intercept. And Old Drome there in the GTE, setting a 3:53.1 ahead of Cypher Knight with a 3:55.4. And I believe that is our qualifying roundup for today. Here, I'll let you sign off. It's been a pleasure commentating today for the Q&A and also for the qualifying, live qualifying here today. So I will catch everyone, I'd presume, in the 24-hour Le Mans, which wish me luck, and I'll try to race as well as I can. So yeah, wish me luck. On to you, here.
Yeah, thanks for everybody that contributed some questions in the Q&A, and also the drivers driving the qualifying session. It has been a great week with the qualifying. Everybody has really done really well, and now we have to hit in this driver swap slots a bit. I think all the teams want to practice a bit more, maybe also the driver swaps, to concentrate on the race, prepare everything, a bit of food to get in between the stints, a bit of drinking maybe even during the race, and plan everything perfectly for a perfect 24-hour race, because a 24-hour race needs some preparation, and that's what we have, like not even 2 days till the race start, so 1.5 days, and yeah, it will be hopefully a great race. I'm looking forward to it, so I'm ending the stream now. Yeah, see you all on Saturday then.
Bonsoir, bon voyage.